Yet another black teenager murdered in the South with no open fucking investigation. But we're gonna get that fixed, aren't we? Juliana Nzita was found hanged from a tree double her size with a cargo truck ratchet strap at a church. First of all, black people don't hang themselves publicly. Usually children don't either, and typically not at a fucking church. And guess what? The police never spoke to the man that found her body, they never found her phone, and they neglected to even perform an autopsy on her. So you're telling me a 16-year-old got a cargo truck ratchet strap, strung it up on a tree that was twice her size, and then used a toddler-sized chair that couldn't hold even probably a toddler to get herself up? The man who discovered her body was 5'9", and he said he wasn't even close to being able to reach the branch. But the Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Department decided to close her case just 4 days later and are refusing to speak to anyone about it. Which is interesting because just a few generations ago, white people were lynching black people there for sport. This happened on May 8th, and yet still nothing has been done. So let's all have a chat with the CMPD. Here's their number if you would like to contact them or leave a nice little review. Let's get some complaints filed and some representatives on the fucking phone. Because apparently nothing can ever get done until we force them with millions of eyes, ears, and voices. Juliana will have justice because we won't shut the fuck up about it until she does. Share her story, donate to the family, and keep talking about Juliana Nzita until we get some fucking answers.
You know, there are no words to express the anger, frustration, and pain that I felt when I saw this story. I came across this clip the other night, and for the record, Benjamin Crump is well aware of this case. He actually shared it on his Instagram page. This is where I got this video from. Rest in peace to that beautiful black girl that tragically lost her life, who the news said supposedly hung herself on a tree, which is a lie. They ruled this a suicide, just an FYI. And I did some research on the story and found out that this 16-year-old girl immigrated to the States from the Congo. She's an African girl. And they found her hanging in front of a church in Charlotte, North Carolina. And to make matters worse, this incident happened earlier this year in May, and we're just now finding out about it in July. See, this is the bullshit I don't appreciate. I don't like when I see stuff like this not being handled in a timely fashion, and there is no type of justice being served. And I said, Charlotte, North Carolina, really? Charlotte? The Queen City, the home of the chocolate. That's what really pissed me off even more. I couldn't believe it. Like, Charlotte is like majority black, and it's just very hard for me to see something like this happen down there. Because it's such a beautiful city. I love going down there. But when I found out it was Charlotte, I said, oh, it's getting real scary out here for real. Because if you go into really black cities and attacking black folks for no reason either, and then stuff goes unsolved. See, this is another clear example of bringing awareness to stories like this that don't get the media attention. Obviously, it's not getting any type of traction with mainstream media. I haven't heard a peep of news on this incident, and I just barely found out about it a couple of days ago. It's very heartbreaking to see some of our young sisters and brothers being unalived and then being ruled as a suicide because they were found hanging from a tree. That's what really bothers me the most. How dare they say that little girl who was not even close to being 6 feet tall. She's very short, by the way. She was only like 5'4", maybe 5'5". I'm not exactly sure how tall she was, but she definitely wasn't tall enough to hang herself from a tree. And the description of the strap that was around her neck was a heavy duty trucker strap that they used to strap down like heavy materials. So I knew automatically this was not what they are saying, that was ruled as like as if she hung herself. There's no way. She's too short, one. And from what I read on the news article, they said that the man that found her was approximately 5'9", and he even said that he couldn't even reach the top of the tree where he found her hanging. So that it's just all smoke and mirrors at that point. This is when you know that the law enforcement is corrupt down there, when they automatically rule it out as a suicide. They don't have no suspects, no camera footage, nothing. And why does it take so long for stories like this to come out months later? Why are we just now hearing about this? Again, this happened in May. That's like 2 months ago. Why are we just now hearing about this? No suspects, nothing. No type of investigation. They just shut the case closed. Like I said, I'm glad Ben Crump is aware of this. I'm glad that he brought it to the attention as well. He didn't make a press conference or nothing about it yet, but I'm pretty sure he will get around to it sooner or later. But it's just very sad. Very, very sad what I'm seeing that's happening right now. I just hate this. I don't understand. Why can't folks just leave folks the hell alone? Why is there so much hatred for us? Why? I don't get it. I don't understand. Why can't folks just leave folks alone? And this isn't the first incident I heard of where they found someone hanging from a tree. That's a modern day lynching, pretty much. And then they claim it was a suicide, which is a lie. I actually saw an article not too long ago, I want to say about a year ago, where they found a trucker hanging from a tree, a black trucker. And he had just started his job. I think he was from like Chicago, somewhere up north. And he was down south. Matter of fact, the same damn state, North Carolina. But he was in, I want to say Greenville is where they found him. Somewhere around that area, hanging from a tree. And they claim to say the same thing, suicide. Same situation with the other young brother. Forgot his name, but they found him hanging from a tree in front of a college in Mississippi. And I'm just like, what is going on out here? Where is the real police work? Answer that question. Where is the FBI? Why aren't the feds involved in these matters? Why aren't they on these cases? I don't get it. Clearly, this is a hate crime. Clearly, it's a hate crime. But no one is claiming it as a hate crime. We all know it's a hate crime. And just like that white girl said in the video, black people aren't just going to hang themselves publicly like that. Especially in the South, where you know we have a history of the racial divide. All I can do is shake my head at this point. It's unreal of what's going on. It's very unreal. It's starting to really bother me. It really is. And like I said, I try to tune out the news because of stuff like this sometimes, but it's hard to ignore when I see stuff not getting the attention that it deserves, and it's not getting any type of mainstream attention either. Gotta put the word out. You gotta bring awareness sometimes, you know? I just try to do it in moderation so I don't bombard y'all or overwhelm anybody and give people anxiety or PTSD. Some people just can't handle stuff like this. That's why I don't understand how people, you know, like Nancy Grace and all these other podcasters just constantly drop stuff every single hour on the hour. I can't do that. That's just too much for me. But I appreciate them for that. I could never, because it would get too much. It would overwhelm me myself. Because I have a little anxiety and I already have insomnia. I don't sleep well at night already. So, like, I'm not going to continue to drop stuff like this back to back. But, God. Oh, man. it just left me speechless, to be honest, because I'm just like, there's no real justice, nothing being done whatsoever. The cases like this, and police don't give a damn. The justice system don't give a damn. And it's always us. I never see people of the opposite color being in these positions. I really don't. Like, every once in a while, you might hear somebody, you know, being unalived by a police encounter. Yes, that's very common. But hanging from a tree, it's always us. Always us. Always. It's never anybody else. And that's what really makes my skin crawl, is that people are still doing this in 2026. And there's no type of justice or repercussion being done. And they just shut the case and just sweep it under the rug like nothing ever happened. But yeah, I'm over it. I just hope and pray that her family gets to justice, and open up an actual case. I hope the feds step into some of these cases. I really do, because the feds act like they don't want to get involved in shit. They sorry as hell, because now I feel like at this point, who do we trust? Who are we supposed to trust with this now? Can't trust the regular folks. You can't trust the law enforcement. You can't trust the feds. Like, who do you go to at this point? If people are closing cases, ruling them as suicides, and then nothing's being done about it. I don't get it. But yeah, I'm over it. I'm gonna go now. But I figured the more you know, the more I share, the more it gets awareness. Hopefully people share the knowledge, because I just want y'all to know what's going on out here, you know, because you got to keep your eyes and your ears open 24/7, because you really just don't know until you see it and then you share it. But y'all let me know y'all's thoughts in the comments below.